Hey there, welcome back guys. In today's video we're going to be putting together the Ender 3 S1 Pro. That's right, you probably hear the fans going in the background, but you know what? Let's shut them off. There, welcome back guys. In today's video we're going to be putting together the Ender 3 S1 Pro. That's right, this is the first part in mini series. You got your Ender 3 S1 Pro. We're going to put it together and take you through all the necessary steps so that you can get going on your 3D prints from your first print to hopefully your last print. It'll be like a mini series of like little steps, kind of like training wheels, and eventually you're just going to go off out into the sunset and start printing, and most likely you'll never shut the printer off again. Once you turn it on, once you get your prints going, it just goes non-stop. It's just so fun being able to print many things from fidgets to gnomes and little things for your kids, to the Benchy, which is really popular. The Benchy is known as a calibration tool. Once you print that, you know your printer's okay, but then moving forward, there's some troubleshooting that'll happen along the way, but you know, you'll get it. Just follow the series, take the necessary steps, and if you have questions, just reach out to myself. There are forums, but I noticed a lot of the forums gave me ideas for these videos because people would ask questions and they wind up getting roasted. You'll never get roasted on this channel, although during the holiday seasons we might roast some chestnuts or holiday snacks. But yeah, anyway, without any further ado, you're probably waiting. Let's get started. All right, so here we go. Here's the Ender 3S1 Pro, as you can see. I'm just going to do a 360 around the box. As you can see, there is a little ding right there, right? You know, we don't know. Hopefully the unit is intact. I'm just doing a 360 for the sake of Amazon returns. So, oh, there's another ding over there. That one's a pretty big one. But again, it should be in some sort of protective coating, which should be okay, as you can see. Let's see how many dings we got. Ding a ding a ding. Yeah, not many, just a few. And again, this is the Ender 3S1 Pro, and we have here, that's how it should look when it's finished being put together. Got some, must have dropped or been thrown or in the truck. We got one right there. But hopefully it's okay. Hopefully they package the unit really well, so you know it shouldn't be a problem with getting it to where it needs to be. All right, let's just take a look inside. Let's tear this baby open, put it together, and see where it goes. I'm gonna put this in the room where I do my YouTube channel / podcast, but I'm probably gonna do the first few test prints here, make sure it works. Unfortunately, you know, with something like this, you want to keep the box just in case it needs to be returned, because you still have that guarantee / warranty, right? Let's see what's inside the box. Okay, it's nicely packaged. Just going to move this over here so that we can get everything that we need from here. Whoa! Whoops! Oh, wow. That was pretty close. Okay. Yeah, so just watch your stuff. I got lucky there with the camera. Hello? Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1. Oh, I have to check from in there. Testing 1 2 3. Oh, let's see from here. Hello? Testing 1 2 3. Okay. Wow, 84%. All right, so this is it here. We're just going to have a look of what's inside. Nicely packaged. Should be fairly easy to put together. We're just going to have our parts here. This is the manual, which is great. That should come in handy. Oh, it comes with a light. So if you order one, send it back. This is everything that we see here. I'm probably just going to put this on the floor and take it apart and do everything as needed. And just put everything on the table. Wow, nice. Really nice light. Let's see what happens if we pull this up. yeah, so the light is intact, all within this contraption here. So we'll just put this on here, on the chair. Make sure you have enough space. Wow, it's like a golden plate. It comes with some starter filament, which is really nice. What else do we have here? Just want to be careful pulling it out, right? Make sure that the thing is attached. And again, this lay piece is out as needed. You want to work in an open space. So I'm just putting this on the floor. And then we're going to put everything over here. Here's the power cord. Might need an extension cord since I'm going to plug it in over here for the first test run. This is nicely packaged in there, everything. So even though there were dings on the box, this is really hard styrofoam, okay? So there's, you're not gonna damage anything. You probably damage your camera dropping it rather than just be careful pulling stuff out since you have like a lot of foam trapped under stuff, protecting everything, okay? Really nice. I hope this wasn't returned. But again, you want to keep the box because you never know. It could be refurbished. Someone could have sent it back, but I don't think so. Everything does look pretty good. Okay. So again, don't use two hands. Dedicate part of you, all of you, to the machine, and then all of you to the box. Check in here. There's nothing left in there. Really nice. Heavy box. A little damaged, but the printer is well protected. All right. So I'm just gonna bring the print. And the reason why I chose this one is because it seemed really easy to put together, and plus I had the points, which was really great. So as you can see, look at that. Everything was done in the factory, which is awesome. All right, so that's this thing here. It'd be nice if, well, of course, we should open the menu, right? Okay. So here's the manual. Guess we can start with that. Some leveling tips you got. See that? And then we have after sales service card, a little thing here, which is nice. Too bad there's not a number to local people in your area who can help you fix your stuff. But no, some little, looks like stickers or a decal or something. It's a sticker, but it's one big sticker. If you like stickers, you can give that to your kids. Always keep everything to the printer together. It's nice, it's small, it's a great starter printer, nothing fancy, really simple. Here's the book. So installation quick start guide. Nice. So installation, installing the light. Well, we're not going to do the light just yet, but apparently the light is part 2. And here you go. Here's part 1. Just going over all the parts. So install the light stand. So most likely I'll do the light stand last, and what I'll probably do is install the main unit first, because this way it will it'll be standing right in the position that it should be in. So let's see. I believe according to the book, right? Oh yeah, this goes like that. So this, right? These parts here go facing this way. See that? And then and then as you can see, these plug in on the side over here. So you have to be really careful. All right. So before you get your screws out and everything, I would not recommend leaving this like that. I would recommend putting this down, right? Just laying it. Okay. Laying it down and then getting, so you're not running around crazy looking for everything. You have a little spatula, which is really nice. We have a little clip here. I guess we'll figure out where that goes later. Just gonna lay everything out. Something in here. These are the bolts, I believe. A little screwdriver kit. An Allen key, so you can see. Okay. And then we have the bag, an extra nozzle. I believe the nozzle is, it doesn't say, unfortunately. It just says spare part, but I believe it's a 0.4. This is it right here. And there are a lot of them online, right? They all come with numbers on them. Fortunately, there's no number printed on there, which is a little bit of a bummer. This is nice. SD card. All right, we'll have a look at that later for your first print. But before we get to our first print, we got to put this baby together. Okay. All right. So just going to open up the screws. Looks like we have 4, but these are the ones that get used with it. Let's see what the book says. Yes, M545, and that's here. So the screws are labeled M545. Okay, so that we're gonna pull this out and get the Allen key ready, so that then we'll put the unit on. This way, nothing accidentally falls, like the Osmos Action camera did. So that was its first action crash, but thankfully, it's in its case. I always keep it in the case. I'm not really worried about it. It would have been worse if it was on the Avada. So there go our screws, right? It comes in a little Ziploc bag, everything in there, which is really nice. Okay. And I believe it should be the biggest Allen key wrench that this should go with. I can just gauge it. Yeah. So you need this one, the big one, and the M545. Okay. All right. And of course the other part of the unit. Remember, we're just doing it slowly. Right? Okay. And as you can see, the wires go on that side, so you can plug it in. So that part is pretty self-explanatory, if you ask me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tilt this to the side, okay? And do one screw. Could cause can cause things to not flow the way they're supposed to go. If that makes any sense. See, one fell out because it wasn't all the way in. Just gonna put it down gently. So you see? And so they go in right in there. And then this will go in right in there. It's really easy to put together. It's fascinating. And that was another reason why I chose this one, because I saw that it was something that was a few steps rather than 20 steps. It was, like maybe 5 steps. If that makes any sense. As you can see, it's going in and it's getting tighter, which is what you want. And I could see how things can become out of whack from this process alone, if that makes any sense. I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. You won't be able to see, but you get the idea, and you can use your imagination to, like, hey, what's he doing? The same thing I did over there, but over here on this side. Snug, snug and tight. And I don't think they need dry lock. If they do, leave it in the comments and suggestions down below. All right, so that's really tight. Everything is tight there. which is great. So we'll just leave this on the side in case we'll need it in part 2. As you can see, there are connectors here. They just go right in on the side really easily, and it's pretty foolproof. You just have to match the little thingies here, as you can see. Here, I'll show you. See? And this is a no-brainer. This will just go in there, and you probably just have to wait for it to click and snap. That takes care of that, which is great. So you can't mess that up because there's only one way for that to go. I think the one thing we could mess up is probably this thing here. But we'll do, we'll get there. And you got some more, it looks like some wires taped over here on this side, right? I guess those will go into its place of home, which is, I believe, see, right here. And you just put them in, see? And each one has their own place to be. What's that? Little piece popped out here. Oh, wow, interesting. Like edged off. You can see that piece popped out and it looks broken. Interesting. And as you can see, I did the unboxing, but maybe I can squeeze it back on. Let's see. And it's a bummer too because, oh yeah, I think it could be squeezed back on. You know what, let's put this in first, and then we can mess with that part later. I don't think it's going to impede anything, but I could see why they put it on so it doesn't get in the way of the bed. A little bit of a bummer that it's not on there, but maybe, just maybe, we can slide this out and put it in case you're wondering what you're doing. Like, what's he doing? I will show you guys. So let's get the camera set up. So you can see the piece that simply popped out down in there. See these wires? So apparently this piece holds those wires in along the this thing here. It's like a little, see how that popped in? So it's basically another part like this, except this one goes over here on this side. So the wires have to go in the hole, and then this, and then they just feed through, around and down. It's a little bit tricky, but doable. Might need, let me know if this happened to you guys. See, it doesn't snap in. But we got it in. We'll be on the lookout for that piece right there. It's a bummer, but as you can see, but it's not as snug and tight as you want it to be. So look out for that part. But we managed to fix it by sliding it out. Welcome back to Everything That Glitches. You probably said, hey, it's Lewis. Let's send it to him. All right, so now we're just gonna install this thing right here. Wow, this is the beauty. This is where the magic happens. See that? Well, before I put it in, look at that. See? Beautiful. So we want to be careful putting this in. I'm just going to spin I'm just going to bring the camera around. The unit around, so that you can watch it being installed. So make sure everything's tight, right? Okay. And that's going to go right in there. Wow, it's so beautiful. It's hard to believe that when, these things clog, which is a little bit of a bummer. Everything is glued. Some parts are glued so they don't come off. So it looks like if this thing goes south, you would have to replace the whole thing. So this probably goes in here, like this, on that side, through the hole. See some holes over here, and then most likely you have to screw it in. So we have some screws here in this bag. M36 screws, and right there, M36. Oh, M58, and then we have the M36. So you want to use the M36 screws. Let's open that up. And you can put the screws out in an open place or tray, you know, whatever works well for you. We're just gonna put in it's called the nozzle module. Ah, there we go. So it sits on top like that. That took a little bit of time to figure out. So again, be careful once you set it in place, right? So it goes in, see that? Like that. There, see? And then let it sit, right? Just make yourself, make sure it's snugly in there, right? And then when it is, you will just screw it in. I'd probably want to screw the top one first. Not sure if it's magnetized or not, but you want to start with anyone, whichever one you choose, as long as you get it in there and as long as it's tight, and then nothing happens. You don't require a lot of tightening. They pretty much, it stops when it stops. Some bolts will just keep turning and allow you to make it extra tight. There's no way to make this extra tight. It won't let you. That's an extra screw. Actually, you want to put the screws in its bag so you know which one is what, because in the instructions it'll tell you which screws go where. See what we have here. I have a little piece over here. We have this thing, which I believe goes. There's only one way for them to go. There's like a little notch in there. So when you see the notch, you'll put it in that way, if that makes any sense. These little notches, whoops, right here. See that? Pull that and pull that, and then this, see, it goes in. You just want to make sure that they line up. And when you do that, it automatically closes. You just, you know, it's a little bit tricky. There. I'll show you guys in a second where this thing goes. Right in here. Oh, nice. Okay. So this thing goes right here. See this part? This piece fits snugly right in there. So you find that part right here. Okay. Pops right in. See that? Oh wow. Oh yeah. It'll come out, but. All right. So that goes there. Now we can put this the way it needs to go. But first what we want to do is find the right amount of cable, right? It should be, I'm presuming this has to be as taut as this, you know, like it's giving you what it needs. Like, presumably that's as high as it goes. It's supposed to go. And then this one, I think, right? In case you're wondering what I'm talking about, like maybe it's supposed to go on the sticker. You could adjust the sticker accordingly, like if you need more, but I think that's plenty. I don't think it's going to go any higher. There's no need for it to go higher. If that makes any sense. Okay, so now we're here. So now I can bring everything back in through here, right? And you remember that part in the beginning when I showed you this. So you can see these latches, they're open. There's no need to force them. And then you just make sure that this goes in there nice and snug. Don't force it because you don't want to ruin it, you know? And then you just push it in. And you'll, you know, it's like the 03 air unit for the Avata. All right, so we got this all together. It looks like there's some connector thingies here. So there's some black tape here, but as you can see, it won't reach. And I don't want to, it will reach a little bit, but I don't want to ruin it, you know? Depending on your unit, you may not have to do this, just a little bit. For now, we can make the adjustments later. So that takes care of that. And then of course, we have, what else do we have here? The power, right? 115 and 230. So for us, since we're here on the East Coast of the United States, I'm gonna change it to 115, but I probably want to put that back, right? And then voila. There's like a little notch. You could always get a flashlight to make sure that it is the way it's supposed to be, which way it needs to go. So that took care of that. Use a flashlight and it has to pop. All right, so we got that. We got these connectors in, right? We got those connectors in, connectors over here, and now we have connectors over here. Okay, so these, right, go underneath these wires right here. There's these little connectors, so you might have to add some more slack in there, but it looks like they took that into consideration. And so these, one goes underneath. I'll let you guys see. See, one goes in there, under, and it'll pop right in. See that? Just move the cable a little bit. Goes right in there, and you just pop it in. Okay, I'll show you how it looks. Might have to get in there and see. Ah, I see. Okay, so yeah, you want to make sure you do it right. Voila, pops in. So as you can see, get one in, one goes there, and one goes there. See that? Wires are really snug though. They don't really leave room. They don't give you a lot of slack. So that's it for that. Now we can install the touch screen. Not bad. Getting there, slowly but surely. Here's the touch screen. See that? Nice. And doesn't look like it's been refurbished, which is good. So what you do is, I believe, you would slide this out. See that? See, it has these little things here. Down. Okay. So this will allow you to screw it in. On the side, we want to use the right screws. Yes, M425 are in the bag, as you can see. Okay. And there are 3. Apparently there are 4 in here, but we only need 3. And I'll show you guys in a second exactly what's happening. Just want to get one in. I'm just going to lower the tripod so that you guys can see. And it'll be easier to actually screw this in, right, from the edge. Okay. So as you can see, I got one in there, right? So that would run under. But before you do that, you still have a few more screws to go in, right? And start them in. But it is a little bit tricky. I don't even think it needs all 3. That's it with that. And then as you can see, you can run this cable underneath. See that? Looks like you could actually run it. It's supposed to be run from down here. A little thingy for the cable to go in and under, but I don't see how, unless you, because it only goes in one way. Next, of course, that would be upside down, right? See? So most likely it goes out. So we'll just put that like that, and then voila, see, it slides back in. And there's a little sticker on there that says, you know, don't turn it on. Before applying power, please check input voltage, 230 or 115. So now we're just gonna install the LED. Oh, an LED and the other thingy, the spool thingy. So it looks like it has an on-off switch, which is great. Nice. I guess there's a do not press. I presume that this goes over your printing area and on the side like that. See that? And it would plug in, but before we do that, we need to go to find out which screws. M58. See, that was here, M58. A lot of this setup is already done for you. You just have to put it together. Oh, I see where it goes. It plugs in at the top. Okay. Lock ourselves out from being able to connect the connectors that allow the power to go through. And I'll show you on this side. You'll be able to see. You put it in, and then you just have to line up the hole, so it goes in, and then turn the Allen key. And of course, if it keeps turning, right, that either means you missed it, the hole's too short or stripped. On top, a little plug right there. Really easy. Easily goes in. I'll let you guys see. I'll plug it out. I'll plug it in so you guys can have a look. See that? See? And then this plugs in to there. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in, and I'll show you when I'm done what it looks like. This thing plugs in to the feeder for your filament, and then it goes on here. So the trick is getting it, you know, installed correctly. So I believe it should be, make sure that I presume that it's centered. Except let's see how they want us to do it. Yeah, it looks like it's centered, but with the this thing lined up, centered with that. And then you just sort of push it back, but I want to make sure before I pull it back that this is lined up with the nozzle, so it doesn't have too far to travel. You can always adjust it and then see, snap it back in, but watch the belt. So that takes care of that. And then you have this part here, which I believe goes on like that. Is that correct? Yeah. The LED screen, so it's just a matter of twisting it on correctly. Oh, nice. It's got like a little, and you want to make sure it's on. You know, everything. And then what you want to do is plug. Now you can plug this thing in here. So I'll show you where that thing goes on the side. Okay, that takes care of that. See, it's weird though. Here, I'll show you guys. Right here. See how that's, this is loose, which is fine, I presume. And then that, it should be snug, but I want it to be aligned with that. But again, this moves, so that's normal. And I presume they all move together, like it just feeds the filament. I think that's it, almost, right? Presumably, as long as it turns on. This is how you set it up, I presume. You have your power cord here. I guess the only thing left to do would be to plug it in. Get things as needed. This can be pushed in a little bit. It'll just flow naturally. Just make sure it has the slack that it needs. Extra nozzle in there. I can keep the keys in there. You never know when you need to service. And that's pretty much it. We did it. Look at that. The Ender 3, right? S1 Pro. Took about an hour or so to put together, but you know, that was my speed, my pace. You might do it faster or slower, but there is no, it's not a race. You're done when you're done. There you have it. Stay tuned for part 2. In part 2, we're going to turn it on. We're going to level it. And then in part 3, we will do the print and see how it prints. This is a part 1 in the 3-part series. Ender 3, actually, S1 Pro. I hope this video helped you in assembling it. I'll just do a quick rundown of all the things to double check. Make sure this is connected. Make sure this goes here. Make sure that this is on there. And as you can see, this gets plugged into that white part here. And then this goes there. These connector thingies are here. You have some connector thingies in the back. Double check that. And you also have this one here. You have the plug. There's a little bit of slack. You know, just make sure that does what it needs to, so that when it goes back and forth, it's not, you know, getting caught. Oh, and this part here, remember in the beginning, the tape kind of messed up a little bit. I mean, it does come off, but I wasn't able to plug that in. So I'll adjust that, maybe just move it back a little bit. There's the on-off switch, right? Make sure your power is set to the right voltage for your country, wherever that is, wherever you are, on whichever side of the world. This one gets connected underneath, 3 bolts, right? And all the bolts are labeled, which is great. And if your bolts aren't labeled, don't worry about it, because they're pretty self-explanatory, and only one will, you know, only one will fit. Like I can't put the bolts from here, right, into there. And then you have the bolts there that connect. This thing slides on, remember? Had a little difficulty figuring that out. And with this one, and then we'll just see how it works out. Of course, we'll bring that down a little bit when we turn it on. And that's pretty much it. It takes roughly about an hour to an hour and a half to put together. you go at your own pace. You're done when you're done. Make sure everything, is put exactly where it goes. The area you're working in should be clear, just so that in case parts fall, you need the space. So sometimes you need to put parts down. But other than that, it's a beauty. I love it. I can't wait to actually start printing with this thing and downloading STL files and maybe making my own projects inside the 3D application, also known as. Simply amazing. You did it. And now, you want to load your filament. Watch the next video, which will show you how to load your filament. And once you do that, you're pretty much on your way to the journey and adventure of never-ending 3D printing, from exploring STL files, from maybe even making your own on, using the Tinkercad program. You decide. But remember, it's small steps, and eventually you'll get there. If you have some sick days at work, take those days, because you will need them, as you will, just want to explore more. And like they say, you're not going to get rewarded for not using those days, so be sure to rack them up and use them. But also look for the load the filament video, look for the camera video, best camera video, because that will allow you to control your prints anywhere, because eventually you will have to go back to work, and maybe you see some STL files that you want to download. Well, you'll be able to control your printer from wherever you are, as long as there's nothing on the board. Make sure your board is clear if you're working remotely and you want to send the print to your printer, so that when you go home you can just take it off your board. And then make sure you watch the troubleshooting video for leveling. You want to watch that. But with the leveling, we're going to have a new leveling video coming out, because you don't have to use the paper. There's another tool you can use. So again, enjoy the series. If you have any questions, congratulations. You just put together your first 3D printer, and the journey is non-stop. Anyway, I hope this video helped you. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.